Well, hey there. So today I have something exciting for you and also for myself. I have dun, 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 the Age of Opulence palette from Beauty Bay. Now, full disclosure, I totally got this over the weekend and have done 2 eye looks with it. So I already have kind of used it a little bit, but we're gonna still call this a first impressions, relatively speaking. So today I thought that we could go through the palette. Let me show you what it looks like too. So here it is. Oh my god, I just stuck my finger in the purple. But here it is in all of its glory. It's very, very pretty. Now, this was kind of an impulse purchase, but my friend Olivia O here on YouTube has been raving about the Beauty Bay formula to me for so long, so I had to try it. I thought this was like a really good color story to try it out with. So I figured today we could do 2 different eye looks with this palette, do some live swatches, and then also I'm going to depot this. So I know that may sound crazy to you, some of you, because I just bought this palette, but one, I hate the packaging. It's a lot thicker than I expected. Like, here's my finger. I'm not sure if you can see. It's like thicker than my finger though. It's pretty big, and it's just kind of like a little bit gaudy to me, and I hate eyeshadow palettes. So I've depotted a Beauty Bay palette before. It was actually supposed to be a video on my channel that I like edited and everything, but I dropped the hard drive that it was on, not hard drive, but like external hard drive, and I can't get it to work. So hopefully that will come up on my channel at some point along with some other videos that I lost. But in the meantime, you'll at least get to see me depot this Beauty Bay palette. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, I hope that you go ahead and just keep on watching. I figured we could start this video off with doing some live swatches. So I've got a very nasty makeup eraser here to wipe my fingers off in between swatches. And I'm kind of gonna like jump around instead of going in order because I want you to be able to see the like comparisons between some of these really similar shades. So we'll start with this first one, RSVP, and I'm hoping that you're gonna be able to see this. So here is that swatch, and it's just like a cream shade. Then Silk Stockings is like one that's a little bit deeper, but like if we're being honest with each other, they did not need to put both of these in this palette. So there is that. I'll kind of bring my wrist forward. You can see here is RSVP on the top and then Silk Stockings underneath. They're very similar. This one for me would be like one that I set my eye primer with, and then this might be a transition shade, but for a lot of other people, you don't need both of these. So let's go ahead and just do the matte brown since that's the only other like neutral matte. And this one I find isn't as like pigmented as I expect it to be right off the bat in comparison to like the more colorful mattes, which is really surprising to me because I feel like that's kind of normally the opposite of what is true. Normally the like the colorful mattes are a little bit more challenging. We'll go ahead and do the neutral shimmers next. So this shade Vintage is one of the shades that I've used on my eyes already. I did this as a one shadow look, and I didn't take a picture of it, so I'm sorry. But I loved how it looked. And I'm not sure if you can catch it on camera, but it's like a really deep brown shimmer with like a very strong gold sparkle. It is really, really pretty. I'll also be sure to insert like pictures of these swatches at the end. But going on with the neutral shimmers, so let's do this next deepest one. This is Jazz, and this is like a gold. This one's interesting because like this one to me is a little bit more like straight up metallic, with a little bit less like apparent sparkle in it. Still a really pretty shade. This one, it reminds me of a few Juvia's Place shadows I have, and maybe we'll do comparisons later, but yes, it's a pretty like standard gold shade. Okay, so my alarm just went off. So I'm not sure if we just lost some footage, but what I just did was said that let's swatch Gold Digger. I did dip my finger in it already, and let's just go ahead and put that down. So this one's like a lighter version of this one, more sparkly. There's like a gold and maybe a silver too, honestly, like sparkle in this one, and this one's much more sparkly than this one, Jazz. So next up, we've got two that we could do. Let's do Champagne and then we'll do Crush. So Champagne is a very light gold. It's honestly not as like champagne-y of a color to me. It is more gold. And this one definitely has a whole lot of sparkle in it. It's really, really pretty. And then the last like neutral-y metallic or shimmer is this one, Crush. And this speaks to my soul. I love a pink with a gold shift, and that's exactly what this one is. This one's a little like chunkier looking than the rest, I've noticed, but again has like a super intense sparkle, and I think it's really pretty. So from here, let's go purple, since like we're like with the pinky one. So this lightest matte shade, Flapper, is really impressive. I've used this one underneath my eyes already. Here's that. You know, pretty nice, pretty nice. Not like the most revolutionary shade or anything like that, but you know, that'll do, pig. Then we've got Dandy. So here's Dandy. It's just a little bit darker. Oops. God, I'm really sucking with swatches right now, but ignore that, ignore that. That is Dandy, and you can see it creates like a really nice kind of progression in between these two, you know, but in reality, I don't know if they both needed to be in here. I would have liked to see Flapper maybe like a little bit lighter, because we have Speak Easy, and we could always add that to create that Dandy shade, but it does have a very nice like transition between these three. So there's Dandy, and I've used that one too. I find that one to be a little bit patchy, and you know what? I'll go ahead and insert a picture of the eye look I did that I took a picture of, so that way you can see what it looked like. I was really happy with how it performed overall. And then this like last purple is like a legit purple, and it's called Velvet, and it does feel very velvety. Indeed. Ooh, but not swatching super great. Not swatching super great. Unsurprising since it's a purple. I do have a matte purple from Beauty Bay, which I feel like performs okay. So we'll have to see. Maybe we'll try to put that one on the eyes today to see how it goes. Then we've got one purple shimmer. This is Ace. And again, I've like messed around with this palette already, so I've kind of seen all of these swatched before. Ace is gorgeous. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay. Look at that. Holy goodness, look at that. I'm not sure if you can see. I'll try to bring up my arm a little bit. It has like the prettiest like silver sparkle in it. And I think it's a really, really pretty shade. Something I will say, look at my finger. I'm not sure if you can tell. It is stained to hell. And I did wear these shadows, like I said before, and they stained the crap out of my eyelids. And I don't normally get staining like that. I'm not sure if you can see. I already put on like all my makeup, including eyeshadow primer, but I feel like in person, I can still see the pink underneath the eyeshadow primer. It was so bad that a student asked me today in class if I was sick. So like, that's not great, but I can't be mad when a purple shimmer looks this good, you know? So for the blues, why don't we switch over to the other arm, just because I'm gonna run out of room, I know for sure. So we'll start with this like light teal one. This is Hope. And I used this one a lot yesterday, so here's that. It's a really nice color. Again, this one and the deeper teal, I'm like, did they both need to be in here? I would argue no. Here is the deeper teal. It's called Rich. And let's go ahead and swatch that underneath. So you can kind of see they're really similar. Like Beauty Bay, I don't know. You could have put a little bit more difference between those two, in my humble opinion. So the next blue, let's do this dark one right here, Curfew. And here's that. Very deep blue. I actually don't think I have a blue like this, which I kind of, you know, like. I don't want to have repeat shades. And I used all three of these yesterday, and I thought that they looked really good once I like blended them out and stuff. I know Angelica Nyquist, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but she says that she needs to blend like darkest to lightest with Beauty Bay. I don't find that to be the case, but also I'm not as good at makeup as she is, so she probably knows better than I do, but we'll see it today and you'll get to see on camera like what you think. Then the last matte blue is Lavish, and it's just like a really like bright blue. So here is Lavish. And this one reminds me almost exactly of a shadow that was in the like by Beauty Bay palette I had before that I depotted. And I used it in the Spider-Man look. It was a very vivid blue. I'll show you that look here just for funsies. Now let's do the blue shimmer and then we'll do the black. So this shimmer right here, like this like lighter blue one, is my favorite shade in the palette, which is saying something because I don't really love blue eyeshadow like that. But like, oh my gosh, can you see? It looks like glitter, but it's not glitter. Honestly, wanna know what this shade reminds me of? You know the new Danessa Myricks palette that's gonna come out, like the $125 one? There's a blue pressed glitter in there, and this shade to me looks like that, but like the not pressed glitter version. So I think it's pretty nice. We also have this second blue, Decadent. This one's like squishier than the rest, which I think is really interesting. It feels like a little more like almost like silicone-y. And it seems like it has like a black base almost to it. It's really dark and it's sparkly, but not like this type of sparkly. That one is like on a whole different level. It's so, so nice. And then the last one that we have is the black, and this is called Noir. It's really, really soft, which I kind of like. And here it is. So you can see, very pigmented black. And raise my hands up in the air like I just don't care. I'm so lame. Okay, here are all of the swatches all together. So I will also insert a picture so that way you can kind of see. But personally, I like live swatches because like, I don't know, especially like being on Instagram again, I kind of got trust issues because some people really be like doing the most with their swatches. I'm like, there's no way that eyeshadow like looks like that when you like swipe it on. So hopefully this was helpful to you. Now let's move on to doing an eye look, or in this case, 2 eye looks. We interrupt your scheduled eyeshadow looks with an announcement. Look at the staining. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure if you can see, but holy goodness. Okay, so the ones that stained the worst are actually the 3 colored shimmers. I just took, okay, it looks nasty, don't judge. I took this like makeup eraser, right? I took it in my bathroom, I put soap on, I scrubbed the crap out of my arms like as soon as I was done swatching. So these were on my skin like maybe a minute. This one a little longer, but these 2 like maybe a minute, and they are they're in there. They're not coming off. So again, something to know. I know a lot of people don't care about staining, but it can be annoying, especially like if I'm swatching, I'm gonna go to class tomorrow, people are gonna be like, what happened to you? So just something to note. But okay, let's go ahead and do the eyes. So I've got to pull out my brushes. So I kind of have a vision for the 2 looks I want to do. I did a blue look already, so I kind of don't want to do a blue look. I'm thinking I might do like an all purple look on one side, and then maybe I'll do like kind of like the reverse of the look I did before, so I'll do like a blue under eye. And then I kind of want to do like a halo eye with the nudes and show you like what type of nude looks you can get with this palette. So let's go ahead and start with, which one do I want to start with? For the sake of staining, let's start with the nude, because I'm kind of scared about putting these purples on my eyes for a really long time. So to start, I'm just going to take this like dense Morphe brush. It's the M574, and I'm just going to tap that and start applying that to my inner and outer corner on, let's say, this eye. So my left eye, but I guess your You're right? I think it's mirrored. It doesn't matter, so I'm gonna do it on this eye. Here we go. Alright, so that deep brown laid down pretty good. Now, here's the thing, right? We've got a choice of light or even lighter. So there's not going to be like as much of a transition with the mattes as I normally like with the halo eye. This is where I feel like Beauty Bay could have done a little bit better. But I'm just going to take this shade Silk Stockings. I'm tapping it on like this kind of fluffy, but like kind of like still like, I don't know, like compact blending brush from Real Techniques. And we're going to try to create the illusion of like a little bit more dimension. We'll see how we can do with that. But I will say that these are blending pretty nicely into each other. You can see it's like really softening the top of that deeper brown. The bottom is still like pretty intense, but where I've started blending is softening very quickly, which is nice. So there's that. I feel like that's looking pretty good. So now I've already used this shade, so I don't want to use this. So I say let's go full gold. So we'll do this one and then this one in the center and then that one on the inner corner. So I'm going to take Jazz and I'm just going to take it with my finger. I feel like these like more putty-ish type of shades do better with a finger application. And I'm just going to start tapping that right here on like the inner and outer portions, but a little bit in front of where that brown is. And it's going to look like garbage because it's not blended yet, but don't worry, we're going to get there. Okay, random thing I'll ask about. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the Gold Digger on the center. But so I watch Hulu, like I've been binging King of the Hill on Hulu, and for it, there's obviously a lot of commercials because it's Hulu, and there's like this Invisalign commercial that has like this little kid, and he's like, "Don't worry about it, sweetheart." And I don't know why, but I kind of love it. I like quote it all the time, and I know everyone's like, what are you doing? Tell me if you've seen this commercial. I can't be the only one who has gotten this commercial on Hulu, because Hulu really seems like they have like 4 commercials. Okay, I just put Gold Digger in the middle and then Jazz on the outer portion. Am I crazy in seeing like no difference? Like they just kind of blended completely together. So let's take Champagne and add that, so that way we get some type of halo going on here. But interesting to note that they blend right together, which kind of confirms what I was saying earlier about how they could have maybe done a little bit more distinction with these shades. So right now I'm just adding a little bit more of that darker brown to the outer and inner corner. And I might go back in with Jazz to try to like deepen that up a little bit on the outside. Maybe I'll have to take a little bit of Vintage to really like create a spectrum here. Let's do it. I feel like we need it, honestly, because right now we're not getting a whole lot of depth. Now I did just basically cover that matte completely, so you know, there's that. But who doesn't love a full shimmer eye? We're just exploring, we're having fun, we're playing with this palette. So, okay, this isn't what I've envisioned when I started this, but that's okay, we're going with it. I'm gonna add more Champagne to try again to like create more of that halo eye effect. What do you think? This isn't like the like starkest halo eye for sure, but can you tell that it is a halo eye? I am not so sure. I will let you be the judge. Comment and tell me, does this look like a halo eye at all? You know, it's as good as I think we're gonna be able to like get those differences without me just sitting here over and over again, just layering and layering. So I'm just gonna take a little bit more silk stockings on that fluffy brush and kind of blend out the top to fade it into the crease a little bit more. And then just on my finger, partly because I'm lazy, I'm gonna take this shade Champagne and I'm gonna tap that on my brow bone and on my inner corner as a highlight. So what I do when I'm doing like a brow bone, I'm just tapping it with, you know, my finger. I do exactly what you just saw me do. I just tap with my finger and then I take a clean finger and kind of like tap it in a little bit more so it looks a little bit more, you know, how it's supposed to, I guess you could say. So that's looking good. Oops, dropped my brush. Okay. Let's do a little bit more of this like dark matte brown and we'll just rub that very lightly on the inner and outer part of my lower lash line. And then oh my god, mayday, mayday, do you see? I guess I had blue on my fingers, so that's great. Okay, well, I think crisis averted, I think. Now I'm scared to grab my face. Okay, let's do it without grabbing my face. And we'll just keep rubbing. Sorry if you can't see this. I realize sometimes like when I'm doing stuff on my lower lash line and I go to edit it later, I'm like, well, you can't see any of that. So I'm sorry if you can't see it. Let me go grab a brush and I'm gonna put like that gold on the inner part of my lower lash line. So I got this like very small precision brush from e.l.f. and I'm going to start by taking Speakeasy, or no, wait, what? Jazz. And we're gonna see how this applies with a brush. And I'm just gonna pull down my eye a little bit, start adding that. Oh wow, that's actually like showing up pretty well. Very nice, okay, okay. Okay, we're doing something. It's looking cute, looking cute. So I'm wiping off that brush with my color switch. And now I'm not even gonna play around with Gold Digger. We know it's too close to Jazz at this point, so I'm just gonna take Champagne and put that on my brush and put that right in the center to hopefully create a little bit of, you know, a halo eye underneath my eye as well. TBD on like how that actually looks, you know, but now I'm just gonna take that Silk Stocking shade and I'm taking this in like a denser brush and I'm just gonna rub that directly underneath everything to kind of blend it out and again kind of copy what we're doing above. So there is the first eye. Oh my gosh, why do I keep touching myself? Why? How am I getting my fingers in this eyeshadow so much? Okay, let's fix it. Okay, I gotta be careful, you guys. Maybe I should go wash my hands again. I don't know where all of this extra eyeshadow is coming from. I'm gonna go wash my hands, put on mascara, and then we'll do the other eye. Mascara is on, fingers are washed, but still stained, so you know, it's whatever. And I'm thinking that this eye looks pretty good. Let me kind of get in close. It is so insanely sparkly, which you know I love if you've been on my channel before. And if you haven't, hello. I love very sparkly eyeshadows. So there is that kind of like halo-ish eye, although we kind of saw in practice how some of these shades are like too close together. So now let's do a purple eye. So for this one, I'm not going to do a halo eye shape. I'm just going to do like, you know, a kind of like standard eye shadow shape, you know, like with like the darkest on the outer corner, all that. So what do I want to do first? I said I want to do a purple eye. Let's start with Flapper, and I'm just going to start by trying to blend this into my crease, maybe a little bit above my crease, and we'll kind of go from there. I'm really happy with how that shade blended, although I will say, I feel like it looks way more pink on my eye than it does in the pan. In the pan, it's got a little bit of a purpley vibe, but this is looking like straight up magenta. I've got this like completely clean, very fluffy, very large blending brush, and even though that blended nicely, I am just gonna kind of diffuse the top just because we don't have like any other transition-y types of shades, and so I want to make sure that it looks like it's blending into, you know, the rest of my eye. So we'll just do that a little bit, and that's blending very quickly, and it's definitely lightening it up. So now I'm gonna take this like slightly denser blending brush, or not denser, but like smaller. So it's from Japanesque, I think. Yes, it is, and it is the 725. So I'm gonna take that, and I'm going to, let's start with this one, and we'll see if there's enough contrast between these two. And I'm gonna start trying to put that a little bit deeper into my crease. Oh, you know what? There's contrast. There's contrast. I was afraid after the two gold shimmers because those did not have as much contrast as I was expecting. But this definitely does, which is good. So we're just putting that in the crease. And, it's looking good, it's looking good. Now again, I'm not like a makeup expert or anything out here in the streets, but I'm doing what I can. So there's that. I feel like it does look a little bit patchy. But let me go into that other brush that we were just using, the one that like actually had product on it, and I am going to go back into Flapper and try to like diffuse this a little bit more. Let's see how this goes. And then if you weren't able to see, I've gone back into the like completely clean brush to try to blend that out a little bit more. Now, I still feel like it looks, I don't know, like it's not blending the best. I just feel like, see how there's like this really stark line? And that might be a me thing, because again, like, I'm no expert, right? But I will say too, it could be the brush. I feel like Japanesque brushes aren't my favorite. I got this one at TJ Maxx for a couple bucks, and I can't imagine paying full price for one of these, and we'll just kind of leave it there. So we're working on it though, we're working on it. Maybe it's the angle I'm looking at too, because I have my mirror angled like really weird, so that way you can't see it in the camera. So maybe it doesn't look as weird to you all as it's looking at me, but it's looking kind of strange to me. Let me go try a different brush. I just went and got like a dense brush. I mean, it's a little fluffy, but not like crazy fluffy or anything. So I'm just gonna try packing this into the crease and then blend. I think maybe that'll help. Yes, I feel like this is looking less weird already. There we go. Okay. Crisis averted, people. Crisis averted. So, let's go back into that brush that we dipped into Flapper and kind of blend it a little bit more. Now this color has gone much higher than originally intended, but that is okay. And then lastly, we'll go back into this brush, and you can see how much like kind of kick up happens, because this brush, I did not dip into any shade in here. It's just from like blending everything on my eye that's already there. It's kind of like picking up a lot. So there's that. Now, I feel like the natural progression of this look, you know what? I feel like that maybe is what is making it look weird, because when I did that, I didn't like how it picked up that middle shade. So let's just kind of leave it like this. Yeah, we'll leave it like this. I'm not mad at it. Well, I'm not mad at it. I mean, I'm a little annoyed at it, but I'm not mad at it. Also, I feel like I don't normally like talk while I'm doing this part. Normally I just kind of let it play. But this time we're trying something different, and let me know what you think about it. I feel like I'm not looking at the camera as much. I'm also like looking for brushes that have somehow mysteriously disappeared in like 3 minutes. So let me grab yet another brush. Anyways, what I was saying was I feel like the natural progression is to go into this one, Speakeasy, and that's what I did when I did the purples on my lower lash line. But I did say I want to try Velvet, so I'm just going to dip this little packing brush into Velvet, and let's try, oh, wow, okay. I was going to say let's try applying this to the outer corner and see how it goes, but like, that went pretty well. So far, so good. Okay, well, thank God, because those pinky purples were, you know, a little bit of a struggle. Now let's see how it is trying to blend it out. Maybe Angelica Nyquist was right. Maybe these are kind of hard to blend from darkest to lightest. Although, you know what? I feel like this purple is actually blending pretty well. Okay. Now that one shade is still kind of giving me pause, like that middle shade. Maybe I'll just like take it really dramatic and I'll dip it a little bit into RSVP as well. And maybe if we deepen it up, that'll help. And I'm just taking that other kind of packing brush and packing that on. And let's try to blend this one last time because I can't let it go. And I'm going to be patient and take my time and really try to get this blend going. Okay. That purple shade's actually looking really good. Now, this eye is looking like way more dramatic than initially planned, but that's okay. Just shows you how different the vibes can be in this palette. So, you know, that's okay. So now we're gonna take this like absolutely gorgeous purple shimmer Ace, and I'm just gonna tap this like on the outer edge of my lid. And then I'm thinking that we could take that like pinky gold and put that on the inner portion of the lid. But wowza, that purple is like stunning. It's so sparkly. Just, oh my God, it's so sparkly. Oh, I love it. Okay, let's go back into this guy and kind of like blend that out just a little tiny bit. And let's take the one that had like the deeper purple on it and add a little bit more to the outer corner. Try to blend that a little bit in with like the shimmer. Okay. Nice. I'm not mad at it. Okay. So now I'm gonna take this Crush shade, and this might be a bad choice, but that's okay. It's just for fun, and I'm gonna put this in here because it does have like a pink base to it. We'll see how much that actually comes through. It's looking like it's not gonna come through like at all. Looking just pretty gold, but gold and purple go good. Gold and purple go good. So again, I'm not mad. We'll just tap that on, kind of blend it into the purple. So far, so good. Okay. it kind of creates like this like cool like lavender looking shade in the middle. So now I'm just going to take this one that we put Flapper on, and I'm just going to really softly and kind of quickly buff all of that together. All right, so there's that. Let me go ahead and I'm going to just take Champagne again and put that on my brow bone, and then also on the inner corner, since that's like the lightest shade, especially since we just used Crush on the lid. So, ooh, that actually is kind of adding something to the brow bone, I feel like. And I feel like it's actually kind of adding something to the inner corner as well. I mean, purple and yellow are opposites, you know, so that makes a lot of sense. They kind of are, you know, complementary in that way, like the Viking color, LA Lakers colors or whatever. So I think it looks pretty good. Now, since the top is so dramatic, I kind of want to take like a lighter approach with the lower lash line. We'll see how that goes, but that's what we're going to try for. So I'm just going to take Flapper on that like densely packed brush, and let's just start applying it to the lower lash line. Okay. So I'm gonna take that gold Champagne a little bit and just tap it on top to blend it in a little bit more. And then I'm gonna take that like packing brush that we had the deep purple on. And, oops, that was one of the brushes. And I'm just gonna take that and tap it a little bit on the outer corner, just to create a little bit more of a connection between the top and the bottom. And then I'm gonna go grab a smudging brush. Oh my god, I almost lost it all right there, folks. Dropped the palette, dropped the mirror, dropped everything. But that's okay, it did not happen. We kind of got like some chaotic energy going on today. I'm not sure if it's because I drank like a lot of chai tea today, which is pretty caffeinated, or I took a bomb nap, or whatever, but something's giving me some chaotic energy. So let me go grab a smudging brush. I'm just gonna smudge this really quick off camera for the sake of time, and then put mascara on, and I'll be right back. Mascara is on, bottom lash line is smudged, and we've got two very different eye looks from one very pretty palette. So here they are kind of close up. And let me know, which one do you like more? You like the colorful, very dramatic, like night outside? Do you like the more like neutral glam side? Also, do you prefer when I talk through like my application, or do you prefer like when I just put on the music and you can chill out and watch me do it? Let me know down in the comments. But for now, let's go ahead and move on to the second part of this video, which is taking this beautiful palette and ripping it to shreds and keeping the beautiful stuff that is inside of it. Well, hello! Here we are in overhead mode with this beautiful palette, soon to be destroyed, the new Beauty Bay Opulence palette, or I guess Age of Opulence palette. I love the shadows in this palette. Well, love is strong. The purples were a little patchy, but I like the shadows in this palette, especially these ones. Can we just take a second while we're all here? And like, I know you can see this, like, oh my god, look at that sparkle. It is beautiful. Now I have to accept that my hand will be stained for the rest of this video, but that's okay. So, here we are in part 3 of this video, which is depotting. Now you might be like, oh, Catherine, why are you depotting this like perfectly new eyeshadow palette that you literally just got in the mail less than a week ago? Well, let me tell you, I won't use this palette as a palette. I just know myself. I use very compact palettes if I'm going to use them at all. And I'd rather have these as singles to then rearrange, build do fun stuff with. I've depotted a Beauty Bay palette in the past without any casualties, knock on wood. Hopefully we can repeat the process. If not though, that's okay. I paid $20 for 20 shadows, and if I lose a few along the way, laissez-faire, you know? So we're gonna try our best, and I'll show you my process for depotting a palette since you did not get to see that original video. Maybe one day. But for now, let's go ahead and get started, and I'm just gonna speed through each part. What I'm gonna do first is I've got like this knife. It's a very old, flimsy, cheap knife that I do not use for cooking. And I am going to separate the black part from this blue part, and then we'll see what we're working with. So here I go. Let's speed that part on up. Step one complete with no harm, no foul. So, let me go ahead, and now what we're gonna do is you can see this like black part is attached like by glue. And so if you start peeling it up, it'll peel up and reveal layers of cardboard, which is my favorite type of palette to depot because it's very easy. So now I'm just gonna peel off this black part and then slowly peel off each layer of cardboard. So you can maybe see as like we're peeling away the layers of cardboard, see how the metal pans are starting to stick up? Eventually we will get down to the layer where it is just the metal pan, and so it becomes really easy to just take the knife underneath and poop, pop it right out. And I know Christine from Simply Nailogical would be so disappointed in me right now for using my fingers. Oh no, casualty. Uh-oh. But she would be disappointed in me with using my fingers. Let me try to pop this sucker out. I feel like we've got a little too much cardboard left, but I feel like I also just did too many layers. And this little guy lost a little bit of his outer edge, but I think it's gonna be okay. Oh, maybe not. Oh, casualty. Okay. We'll scoop him off to the side and complete emergency surgery later. All right, lesson learned. I don't think I can talk to you guys and depot at the same time. I'm getting a little too reckless out here. Okay, let me refocus and keep going, and RIP to, I'm not sure what the shade was called. Not Flapper. RIP to that middle purple shade, but not RIP forever. We will fix you someday when I finally decide to do a video on repressing shadows. Our first success. Huzzah. purples, the purple mattes. This one was okay, because I think it's secretly more of a pink. But these purples are pressed pretty ding-dang softly. So another casualty. R.I.P. fallen soldier. But not yet gone. We will repress these. I promise someday I will repress you. But for now, goodbye. So far though, the shimmers are good. And honestly, that's what I bought this palette for, were these shimmers that Olivia has hyped up to me. So I'm happy about that. Let's keep going though. Let's try this last purple. I am scared for you, oh good sir. Here we go. We got the last purple out successfully, yay! I'm so excited. This honestly is the purple I'm most excited for, so I'm happy about that. So far, 5 shades, which means that if we only get these 5 shades out, I will have paid $4 for each of these shadows, which is, you know, an acceptable price. But hopefully we can get a lot of these other bad boys out and get that value even higher. This one is nice because this one's like very putty-y. So even though I dug my knife in it a little bit earlier, you cannot tell. And I'm not afraid of this one coming apart at all. And another one where I was able to get the back completely off. So yay. Also, it looks like a murder scene. A glittery, beautiful murder scene. I guess it kind of is. But let's keep going. All right, I gotta keep focused. Oh no! The blue! The blue is a goner. But like I said, I have a beauty base shadow in this exact color already. So this one will get repressed. Okay, I'm creating more work for myself later, but that's okay. I feel like I need to peel another layer of this cardboard, but I'm struggling because I don't want to peel off the layer that the shadows are actually in. But I think it'll be easier if I can get this layer of cardboard. So let me try this. The chaotic energy that I was talking about earlier, in like the earlier part of this video, I feel like is hindering my ability to successfully depot each and every shade. Because I'm just like, let's go, let's do it, come on. I'm being a little impatient, long story short. Which is kind of my personality. If you know me in real life, you would be like, yep, that sounds about right. But no fear, no fear. So far, so good. We've got the ones I care the most about, which are those beautiful shimmers. And now I'm taking my time. I'm not going to be impatient. Okay, so let's try something. I want to see if now that I've got it down to this last layer of cardboard, if I can really truly just like, boop. Oh, I think I can. Oh, I shouldn't jinx it. Come on, baby. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, boom. And no glue, holla, so happy. Okay. Yes, why did I not do that sooner? Well, that's a great question. One to answer another day. It's kind of satisfying though. I kind of like doing this. What does that say about me? Let me say Kate, or wait, what? Let me say Kat and Haley. Consider this my application to be on Beauty News. I would love to co-anchor with you. I got some shit to say about some beauty releases. So if you need an American colleague, your girl loves doing makeup breakup-esque stuff. So hit me up, ladies. But all right, oh, that one, easy money. Look at that, easy, easy money. Now we do have glue on the back. Let's see if we can get that off. Oh, we did, hello, yes. All right, we're in the groove, we're in the groove. Okay, let me not ruin it with these colored mattes though. Here we go. Oh, Yes, another one. DJ Khaled in the building. Yes, all right, I'm going to get that glue off later, though. All right, Gold Digger, here we go. Easy money. Look at that. You can even see the glue in there. Boom. Yes, love it. We're almost done with all of the shimmers. Now, this one is the one I care the most about. Let's get this out and stay focused. Oh, easy, easy. Let's see if we can get this glue off the back. Easy money. Look at that. Now, this is another one I'll swatch for you. Even though my fingers are completely disgusting, it's probably messing up the swatch. But can you see, like, the gold glitter in this? This is just a really pretty shade. It's very dimensional. Like, I feel like it looks a lot lighter up here than it does over here, you know? So I really love it as a one shadow look. I can see myself wearing that one quite a bit. And this one I know is Silk Stockings because I said that name over and over again. Ooh, come on, Silk Stockings, get that glue off. Hooray, another one. So good. All right, let's do this second best shadow in this palette. Boom. Yes. Loving life right now, folks. Loving life. Now, these last three, I will be honest and say I don't really give a shit about. This dark blue I feel like is kind of unique to me, so this one I guess I give a kind of shit about. But the other two, I actually think I have Beauty Bay colors in both of these. Maybe I should do some swatches in comparison to the other Beauty Bay palette I have. Would that be fun? Should I do that right now? I'll need to wash my hands first, for sure. You know what? Let's do it. You guys are already here. You're in part 3. We'll give you a little bonus, a little comparison swatch for some of these shadows. And we'll only do Beauty Bay for today. If you want to see these compared to other things, though, let me know. Let me know. Yes. And then here is the last one, this black. And of course, I can't get all the glue off. Ain't that the way it goes? But there it is. So all in all, these are the ones that I do not need to repress or anything like that. So I'm pretty happy with it. How many do we have in total? Okay, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17. 17 for 20 bucks. I'm not mad at it, and I gotta do something kind of fun. But on the downside, and this is something I talked about in my other depotting video, let me try to pull up all of this. Let's push these bad boys to the side first. Alright. But, okay, let me show you something appalling. Look at that. Look at that waist, you guys. And the thing is that, like, I'm not sure, I can't really tell. I don't feel like there's glue connecting these, like, pieces of cardboard. So I think that that's recyclable, but, like, this cardboard with the paper on it, like the glossy paper, I'm not so sure if I can recycle that. And this, I feel like I definitely can't because of this mirror, which I don't want to blind you with. But, yeah, I mean, it's a great deal for shadows, but I kind of don't understand why it's less expensive for brands to make shadows with all of this extra money in packaging than it would be to just like sell them singles or as singles. So yeah, I don't know. I don't depot palettes a whole lot anymore now that my collection is mostly depotted. Mostly I try to buy singles, but when I see something like this and it's like a formula I've wanted to try, they don't sell singles, and it's a good deal, I'm like, you know what, I'll just depot it. So honestly at this point I feel like really the only brands that I'm like consistently depotting are BH Cosmetics, and Beauty Bay. And really I've only depotted 2 of each of those brands. But yeah, so okay, let me throw this all away, wash my nasty grubby hands, which will undoubtedly be stained for my class tomorrow and make me look like Violet from Willy Wonka. But let me go wash my hands, and then maybe we'll do some short comparison swatches. So that way, if you're the opposite of me and you only care about the mattes, I can show you that you don't need to buy this palette for the mattes, because you can buy one that Beauty Bay has that's way cheaper. So let's do that. Over here on this side, we've got the Age of Opulence palette, including our fallen soldiers, who will, again, be repressed eventually. And then over here, I've got some of the shades from the by Beauty Bay palette that I had. I think I had the 16 pan one. I'll insert a picture of it if it's still on their site. This one I got on sale for $6 for 16 shades, if I'm right, with how many were in there, which is a crazy good deal. I didn't pull all of the shades. I only pulled ones that I thought would even be worth comparing in the slightest. So I pulled out two shimmers, and I pulled them out just to show you the difference in the shimmer. But let's start by like comparing this pink to this kind of like pinky purple, because I thought that this one looked pretty like pink on my eyes, although I'm not sure if that'll translate. Oh, it definitely looks more purple on my hand. So those aren't close. I mean, I kind of thought that they wouldn't be. Now, I bet that on the eye, those are actually going to be more close than you think. But, you know, they definitely aren't the same. Next, let's compare these two. Now, I feel like these two are going to be pretty spot on. Oops, I just got my finger in the black and then put it in there. So here's the one from the Age of Opulence. And then here's the one from the by Beauty Bay palette. It's a little bit lighter, but like negligible. So those ones pretty similar. If you wanted this palette for this matte in particular, I think that you would be very happy. Oops, that's my depotting tool. I think that you'd be happy with the cheaper option instead. So the next one that I think is going to be pretty close are the purples. Not exactly. This one's more warm. But here is the one from the Cheapo palette. And then here's the one from the Opulence palette. So that one is like, again, a little bit more like of a blue toned purple, where this one's a little bit more like plummy, but again, pretty close, pretty close. This one I feel like is kind of in between these two, but let's go ahead and swatch that one, oops, in comparison to the Silk Stockings. So this one's more like peachy, and this one's a little bit more, I guess, beige, but still pretty close. So, I mean, I feel like these four, the pinks are not the same, but, you know, pretty close. And overall, I'm thinking that so far, pretty close, you know. This one I think is going to be pretty off. This is the blue that I was like, oh yeah, I have a blue just like that. No, I don't. They're not the same, which makes me definitely want to repress that one. So here's that blue from the one with the bee imprint, and then here's the Opulence one. So yeah, much deeper, but, you know, both the blue, so I don't know what I was thinking though. In my head, I was like, yeah, the same exact shade. Very wrong on my part, very wrong. Let's stick with doing the mattes first. So these two browns I feel like are almost the same exact brown. Here is the Cheapo one, and here is the Opulence one. And yep, that's like almost the same exact shade of brown. And then last but not least, we've got these two blacks, which I expect will be pretty similar. So there's Cheapo, and there is Opulence. Yep, pretty much the same shade. Now let's move on to these two shimmers, just so that way we can chuckle and talk about the difference in the shimmer formula. All right, let's laugh at some shimmers, folks. So these are obviously the Age of Opulence ones. So there's that, pink to gold, which again, so pretty. Here's the one from the cheapo palette. It is not pretty. I'm just gonna be honest. Okay, ready? Look at that. Look at that difference. This one looks like legitimately like wet and sparkly and beautiful, and this one's like, oh, I'm here too. So I don't know. I feel like the shimmers are where you can really see the difference between the cheapo palette and the not cheapo palette. So if you're like me and like you're buying it for the shimmers, I don't think you'll go wrong with the Age of Opulence, because like, oh my god. Now ready? Ready? It's like that sound effect, that womp womp womp. Ready? Bleh. And it's like, here's the thing, it's not a bad shimmer per se, but like, I mean, the difference though, you know? So I would say that the rest of these ones over here don't have anything compatible, but if any of these mattes in particular were like what we're drawing you in to the Opulence palette, you may be able to save like 15 bucks, I guess maybe 14 bucks if you went with this one instead. And I think that these mattes are pretty good. And again, there are more colors in this one, but this is what compares. So I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you enjoyed depotting this palette with me. Sorry, fallen soldiers. Don't worry, you'll be back in action soon enough. But if you did enjoy this, go ahead and let me know, and I'll depot more stuff with you once I have more stuff to actually depot. And for now, let's roll footage to the outro of this video. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this kind of like three-parter video, with part one being the swatches, part two being these two crazy kooky eye looks, and then part three being the depotting. If you did, please like this video, comment under this video. I try to respond to all of the comments that I get. I would like to try to create a little community over here in this very very small corner of the internet. And I've got a few video ideas that I am planning on filming soon. I've had a request to do like a collection video that we're just kind of showing you my collection. I also am going to do a top 10 ColourPop shadows video, kind of based on the video I did last week talking about the like consistency problems in ColourPop. And then I also am going to do a like top 50 eyeshadows video. So if any of those sound interesting, subscribe because they're coming up soon, and I'll see you when they're filmed. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Bye!